Hello, everybody, my beautiful family, my virtual family. I am so blessed and excited to bring to you today this wonderful lady that has come to spend some time with us, Isabelle Benarous. And I have had really life-changing BioReprogramming sessions, biological decoding with Isabelle. And she was in Boulder last year. Actually, it was Longmont for the Cryon event in January of 2018, this year actually. And we are about to have her again in Boulder for 2019. And she is going to bless us with a full day of her work. So I want to introduce you to her because she has a lot to tell you. And just from what I know and what I've experienced through her NLP training and as an NLP, neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, and biological decoding and biological reprogramming. This is the medicine of the new age, and it is life-changing. So I'm really just thrilled that you're going to spend this time with us, Isabelle, and let people know what you're doing, because it's really important. And the one question that starts this conversation is, where does illness come from? So I'm going to give that to you.
Thank you. Well, yes, where does illness come from? So for many years, we were thinking that illness was coming randomly. You know, we get sick and we don't know why. And very often we don't have power because when you don't know where something is coming from, it's very difficult to eliminate it. But thankfully, because of some research that have been done in Europe, and that was 30 years ago already, some doctors found the connection between emotional conflicts and health disorders. So it's interesting to see that prior to triggering an illness, whether it's a small condition or a big illness like cancer, there is always something that happens in someone's life before that. And someone has a shock. There is an element in their life, a story, an event that is out of the ordinary, that catches them off guard, and for which they don't have a solution in their mind. Okay. When we don't have a solution in our mind for something, imagine a man being fired out of the blue, or a woman losing her child, or something as terrible as that, or simply a big fight with a friend. When we dwell on an issue for a long time without a solution, our level of stress will rise. We are capable of resolving our daily stresses. Stress in itself is not dangerous, but it becomes dangerous when we don't have a solution and the level of stress is too high for us to be able to handle it in our biology. Okay. And so what's happening is that our brain, which is programmed in terms of survival, is going to express a solution in our body, and is going to read the metaphor we're making of our problem in our mind and target the organ that is the most capable of solving the problem.
So the brain thinks it's helping us.
The subconscious brain thinks that it's helping us.
By creating an illness.
By creating an illness in terms of a solution. For instance, if a man is fired out of the blue, and maybe he can't sleep, he can't eat because he's thinking about it day and night. And when that happened, at that very moment, he felt, oh my God, I cannot swallow that this was done to me. His felt experience is in terms of I can't swallow. That gives information to the brain about what needs to be done. He would like to swallow that story, but he can't. And so as a result, he could have a throat issue.
So that's the metaphoric part.
That is the metaphorical part. Now, but if he feels in terms of I cannot digest what was done to me, it's a big morsel to digest in me, then the stomach would be the organ that would be targeted and then express a solution to this issue. So each organ has a function, and depending on the information that the brain receives of the problem we're going through, it's going to target the organ that will manifest a solution to alleviate the stress. It becomes a biological solution. When we don't have a solution in our conscious mind, we trigger a biological solution instead.
And that's triggered through the subconscious mind, because our conscious mind does not have the solution.
Exactly, that's triggered through the subconscious mind. Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about in utero, before we're born. There's programming going on there too, right? And
yes,
things that come forth with that we're not really even aware of.
Yes, that's very true. We are not born with a blank slate. And when we are at the moment, when we are conceived, there is a whole climate going on in our parents' life. Mom and dad, they have thoughts, they have conflicts, maybe they have stresses, they have worries, they have emotions. And all of that is transferred to us in a certain way. We download their project. It's called actually the project purpose, because whatever they are thinking and whatever is stressing them out will be part of our biology. And interestingly, we're going to spend the rest of our lives expressing a solution for the stresses that they could not resolve. So during the
resolve
that the parents could not resolve, yes.
Now,
So
how does that, can I just ask, how does that different from what we think of as karma, coming in with a certain karma or certain contracts that we take on as old souls to work through in this life? How does that mix around with that?
Well, so, I mean, I'm sure we're coming with the karma, and maybe in some ways this karma is linked to the type of parents who are going to choose
right
when we come here, you know. So I believe that all of it is connected, and that's very interesting. Maybe with what we pick as parents, with the parents we pick, we are going to have a chance to clear some karma, but we definitely are going to carry memories of imprints. And it's interesting because it's mostly between minus 9 months when we're conceived and 1 year old. That's going to have the most power on our future.
On our future?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So then from the time of conception till the time we're a year old is the most powerful on our future.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. And we don't have any idea.
We don't have any idea. That's why it's very powerful to do an investigation. What happened when our parents met? Were they married? Did they want to have a child? What were their concerns? How were they thinking? I'll give you an example. If a woman is pregnant, but in her mind she's maybe unhappy and she thinks she would like to separate from her husband or partner, then the stress is about separation. That's her conflict. So a separation conflict will be downloaded in the child. And then that child will grow. And maybe as a loyalty to the mother who could not separate, this could be someone who attracts circumstances of separation. Okay. And, you know, she or he is going to find themselves separating all the time because that liberates the stress of a woman, the mother, who could not separate. That's one example.
Or if a mother, what would it be if the mother is pregnant and the husband leaves? I know that happens to a lot of people. How does that affect the child who is probably really loved by the mother, but she had that conflict?
Well, then that could affect the child who maybe could attract relationships that with men, if it's a girl, that don't work. And that creates a climate of abandonment or separation in their lives. It's very interesting because we attract people in our lives according to our programs.
Right.
It's not random. And so it becomes very powerful when we can change those programs, the limiting ones, because we have good programs and we have, programs we want to keep. But some of them are limiting. And when we do a detective work that permits to see, well, this doesn't work for me, I don't want that in my life. By doing that investigation with the life of the parents, both mom and dad, we can eliminate the ones we don't like, the programs we don't like, and create new ones that are better for us.
So that's very empowering to eliminate. First of all, you have to realize that you have these programs and they've been pretty much running your life.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see that, to know that there's something you can do about it. It's not just, oh my God, I don't know who I am. These programs have been running me. Who am I really?
Yes.
You can find that out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you find that out, and you can create your own once you symbolically give back certain programs that belong to your parents, that belongs to their psyche and way of thinking. That gives you freedom.
I have to say that in my sessions with you, the homework that I've had to do really was profound and very emotional and very moving. And I sometimes felt like I had a rebirth afterwards, that I did go through that part of, well, gee, I thought this was who I was, but I've been living my parents' program. So who am I now? And how exciting is that, where you get to figure that out and you get to see, what do you think? What do you want? And sometimes you have to start from zero because you don't know, but then you get to create. I love that part. So would you talk just for a moment about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and how that's running us all the time?
Yes. So the subconscious mind is still an archaic brain, you could say. So it doesn't reason with the same type of logic as the conscious mind. Consciously, we have desires, we have thoughts, we have a consciousness about past, present, and future. And we think that we can navigate our lives just by having objectives and thinking, well, this is what I want to do. I want to get married, or I want to move to another country, or I want to do this job. But then sometimes none of it works. No matter how positive we are, or determined, or hardworking, it just does not manifest. And that's how we know that there is something that's blocking it. The subconscious will override our conscious desires because it does not distinguish between what is right and what is wrong, what we want and what we don't want. It doesn't work that way. It's more, it's a computer that contains programs, and it's going to follow those programs because those are programs of survival. Whatever I imprint when I am in the womb is a program of survival. I am alive because of that. It is familiar. So the subconscious is going to follow that program, thinking that is what permits that person to stay alive. So we need to contact in some ways the subconscious to undo the programs that we don't like, because it's like you said, it's a different way of thinking almost. We have two brains to deal with.
Well, I know you do a whole workshop about weight loss, because so many people want to feel better or look better or both, and the conscious mind is on board with the new diet and the new exercise program or the affirmations or whatever it is, and they'll go along just fine and then kind of fall off the wagon. Is that because of that subconscious program?
Well, yes, because weight gain is very much related to an abandonment conflict. And it could be related also to a protection conflict. The bigger I am, the more I can defend myself in the world against predators.
Right.
So people had a childhood where, maybe they were hurt physically, or, we can go as far as being molested or felt abandoned as a child. weight gain is a biological solution to such conflicts. So someone can be very determined to eat healthy.
Fighting. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So someone can be very determined to eat healthy, but again, like you said, the subconscious is going to override, the desire and the willpower that one can have, because biologically, it's a solution to try and find the root of those problems and maybe explain to our younger self, and reframe, that's what we call it in neurolinguistic programming, some stories in which the person felt abandoned, and change the perception that continues to create those problems with the same program.
Okay. Wow. So that's exciting. And that same idea works in many areas of life. Mm-hmm. You can't make a change with the same mind that created the problem, right?
Yes, exactly.
I just wanted to ask you, would you please talk about what you're going to do in Boulder on Monday after the Cryon event?
Okay. So first of all, we're going to start with the root of things. Where is the illness coming from? Why do people get sick? Because once we understand the mechanics between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and our relationship to the environment, then we can, have more power on our health. The workshop is going to talk about longevity. So we're going to learn how to take care of our health and figure out why we get sick first. Then we are going to target some programs that we don't like, maybe investigate our parents' story, and then talk about longevity. What can we do to have a healthy life?
Would you talk a little bit about Dr. Todd and longevity and how you connected with him?
Yes, Dr. Todd sponsored quite a few of my BioReprogramming seminars. He's very interested in biological decoding and BioReprogramming because he's doing wonderful stem cell treatments, as you know. And he feels that it's important to resolve emotional conflicts for people to have the best results with the stem cell treatments. So it was always a pleasure to brainstorm and work together. Like I said, he sponsored some of my seminars. So yes, that's how we met. And an interesting topic is to think about who would we be if we didn't put a limit to ourselves in terms of age.
Yeah.
Because we have a belief system installed. We could say from the moment we're born, there is a subconscious expectation about how long we're going to stay on the planet, But what would happen if we took care of that and stop creating, based on conditioning, a limit to our time on the planet? Who would we be?
That is exciting, I think. Yeah.
That's exciting, yes. Yeah. So we're going to tackle that element as well during the workshop in Boulder.
Wonderful. Oh boy. I can't wait. That will be, I'm looking forward to some new information because I've really had such an incredible time working with you, and I'm ready for some more. So it'll be great to have you. And anyone that would like to find you on the internet to know more about you, your website is?
It's BioReprogramming.com.
Perfect. BioReprogramming.com. Isabelle Benarous, my guest here today and my guest in Boulder in less than 2 weeks. I really look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I am excited, and I'm sure everyone else will be when they get to have a little bit of biological reprogramming, NLP, biodecoding, programming, and longevity. Yay, what a delicious package. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.